Welcome one and all to Osijek in Croatia and the second day of finals action at the FIG Artistic Gymnastics World Challenge Cup of 2024. We have the men's vault, horizontal bar and rings competitions and the women's beam and floor finals to come your way over the next few hours in this much loved and well attended World Challenge Cup in the east of Croatia, and the settlement of Osijek, the fourth largest city in the country, a population of around 100,000, many of them thoroughly enthusiastic gymnastics fans. The finalists in the men's vault competition and the top performer in qualification is the home favourite, the man from Osijek himself, Aral Benovic, who will go second in the order. He was, however, the top qualifier for yesterday's floor final and finished in 7th place. He'll be hoping for a much stronger innings today. Keep an eye on Pau Jimenez of Spain, the fourth gymnast to go in this final. He was the second strongest in qualification.
Please welcome the finalists on vault.
Here are the vault finalists.
Representing Mongolia, and Dubshin George.
We will begin with Demdendorj Entushan of Mongolia, the 6th best in qualification. The 21-year-old made his World Championship debut last year. He is from Ulaanbaatar, the capital city.
The second finalist representing Croatia, Aral Benovic.
Lots of excitement for the arrival of Aral Benovic from Osijek himself. And in front of his home fans, the top performer in qualification.
The third finalist representing Switzerland, Luca Giubellini.
A promising young man representing Switzerland. This is Luca Giubellini, the 7th best in qualification. He made his World Championship debut last year, was part of the Swiss team that did so well to finish 5th. It's his first ever senior international final as an individual.
Pau Jimenez.
The second strongest in qualification, 20-year-old Pau Jimenez from Spain. His first ever World Cup final. Huge congratulations to him. He was a finalist at the World University Games on vault.
Representing Spain, Unai Baigorri.
To a young Spaniard who excited a lot of people with his performance on pommel horse yesterday, Unai Baigorri of the Basque country, the 5th best performer in qualification. He's having a very good World Cup debut.
The 6th finalist representing Bulgaria, Daniel Trifonov.
The 4th best performer in qualification, a 19-year-old from Sofia in Bulgaria, who was 6th at the Junior World Championships, Daniel Trifonov.
Predstavnik Serbije, the 7th finalist representing Serbia, Dusan Đorđević.
The future Dr. Đorđević, Dusan Đorđević from Serbia, World Cup medalist last year and a PhD student in sports science.
8th finalist representing Bulgaria, Kevin Penev.
The 3rd best performer in qualification, World Championship finalist and Olympic qualifier, Kevin Penev of Bulgaria. He made it to the Olympiad via the vault pathway at the World Championships in Antwerp last year. Those are your 8 runners and riders. A lot of excited young folk watching on.
Po pravilima Svjetskog gimnastičkog saveza, prije početka finalnog natjecanja, prva 4 finalista na preskoku imaju na raspolaganju 2 preskoka za zagrijavanje. According to the FIG rules, the first 4 finalists on vault have 2 one-touch warm-up attempts before they can start competing. so you may start warming up.
The formal instruction to begin the warm-ups has been issued to the first 4 gymnasts in this final. And all that remains is for me to welcome all of you watching wherever in the world you call home to the second day of finals action in Osijek. My name's Ollie Hogben and I'll be talking you through the finals today. In the first group of finalists we have the 6th, 1st, 7th and 2nd strongest performers in qualification. Benovic, the top qualifier, the man from Osijek. Jimenez, the 2nd best qualifier. We will have in the second half of the final Daniel Trifonov, the 4th best performer in qualification, and Kevin Penev, the 3rd best in qualifying. Now, from a numeracy perspective, looking at the vaulting numbers, Aurel Benovic is the gentleman with the highest degree of difficulty based on what we saw in qualification, a 5.6 and a 5.2. There's also Paul Jimenez, who has a 5.2 and a 5.2, the same for Dusan Djordjevic. And Djordjevic has got the potential to move up the standings if he can get his first vault more secure than it was in the preliminary round. Luca Giubellini performed a 5.6 and a 4.0 in the qualification phase, so he's somebody who's still working on building up that big second vault, and he's still only 21, but he's got a powerful first effort. Otherwise we've got gymnasts like Unai Baigori with a 5.2 and a 4.8, and then we have Demden Dorj, who'll get us underway, the young man from Mongolia. He has 2 4.8 vaults, as does Daniel Trifonov of Bulgaria. Now all of that of course is assuming that we see no changes from qualification, and we may well see some changes. It could well be that there are some attempts made to upgrade, or it might be that some of the qualification numbers were as a result of the gymnasts opting to play it a little safer, or maybe not fully rotating a vault. Certainly this gentleman has got the capacity to win it, he's got the numbers to win it, and the gap between Benovic and Jimenez, the 2nd best qualifier, was 0.6 of a mark, so that is quite a healthy cushion for Aurel Benovic. Demden Dorj Ertuğcan of Mongolia, the first gymnast to compete in this men's vault final. He has just missed out before on a medal, and it would have been Mongolia's first ever in a worldwide artistic gymnastics competition. He was 4th in Hungary last year at the Sombate World Cup. Let's hope he has a stronger outing than in Antalya last week, where he was the 2nd best in qualification and ended up 8th in the final, had some trouble with his first vault. Good luck to the young man who's been developing a lot lately. He was 4th on floor yesterday. He does take quite a sizable hop as he lands the vault. But it was more secure than his opening effort in Antalya, that is clear. Just a little off axis on his landing.
Još jednom se pokazao taj doskok kao jako važan preskok.
I ovdje vidimo da doskok nije bio najbolje odražen, iako poprilično je bilo dobro.
13.95 was the qualification score for Demden Dorje. 13.75, so 2/10 down for his full twisting Kasamatsu vault compared to the preliminary stage. Now vault number 2 coming up. And a double twisting Yurchenko for his second vault. Demden Dorje Ertushan of Mongolia. One imagines that will be reasonably comparable to the qualification campaign. It's good to see him becoming more accustomed to being in finals. Promising youngster. 13.85 is the overall score. That is just a fraction up from qualification. That is because he scores 13.95 for his double twisting Yurchenko, which is a quarter of a mark better than the preliminary round. Aurel Benovic of Croatia, top qualifier, 14.775, over half a mark better than the second best, Pau Jimenez. The favourite to win it. Had a tricky time of things on floor yesterday, where he was the top qualifier and finished 7th. And he really does attack his Dragulescu in a big way. Aurel Benovic, he looks pretty thrilled about that. That was powerful. Working on stabilising the landing, but in terms of what he does in the air, this is getting better and better. Really gets some height, and he's quite upright as he lands the Dragulescu too. No wonder he looks so pleased about that. That we expect to be the joint most difficult vault that we see from anyone in this final. .3. So he is down half a mark from qualification. That was really due to the back step and the single 10th penalty for going out of bounds. Second vault for Aurel Benovic. That's a good display from Benovic, really good. Well done to him. Well, that is going to take some beating. And how lovely to see that performance from Aurel Benovic after he really had a rough old time on floor yesterday. We have a look back at his second vault. Now, what sort of score? 14.85 for a 14.575. Aurel Benovic in a leading position and expected to stay for a little while in a leading position. That's a 5.6 second vault for him. Handspring front layout 2.5 twist. That was actually 4/10 up from the preliminary round. So that's really important for his own credentials that he's now posting 2 5.6 difficulty vaults. Now we go to Luca Giubellini of Switzerland. Big first vault expected. And a low landing on the Dragulescu. That's his 5.6 difficulty vault. He struggled a little in qualification with it, picking up a 0.1 penalty, and he certainly will incur similar. Not quite the amplitude that we saw from Benovic, who performed the same vault. I think he just about avoids the hands going down. .75, so quite a low score for Giubellini compared to qualification, 14.45. Hard to see if there was contact with the upper body on the mat. And keeps things quite simple for his second vault, which is absolutely fine, considering that he's pushing his execution for the first vault. And if you can be hitting a 5.6 difficulty vault with quality, then you can be very useful for your team. And the Swiss team, after all, finished 5th at the last World Championship, so they have been in a pretty decent place of late. He's out of bounds as he lands that full twisting Tsukahara. Certainly seems to come down directly out of bounds. First ever senior international final as an individual for Luca Giubellini, whose father Daniel competed at the Barcelona 1992 Olympic Games. His siblings Matteo and Chiara also are very fine gymnasts. Quite some family. 13.2, that's better than qualification for the second vault. 13.475 is down by about 3/10 overall from the preliminary stage. So Benovic still leads. To Pau Jimenez of Spain, 20-year-old from Girona in Catalonia. He was the runner-up in the, or rather the third place gymnast, I should say, in the all-around competition at the national championships last year, his first senior national medal. And he was also in the vault final at the World University Games. Oh, hello! That's a pretty fine roche. Handspring, double front tucked and landed. Consider that vault delivered. Oh, that's a crackerjack. That was emphatic. 14.7. He gets a 9.5 for execution. He's up by 6/10 from qualification, and suddenly Pau Jimenez is a contender to potentially take the vault title, if not get very close to Benovic. Just depends how sharp he can make this second vault. It could be very tight, this. Very nice, very nice. What a good display from Pau Jimenez. He takes a little step on that Kasamatsu 1.5.
The second group of 4 finalists have two one-touch piano attempts now. You may start warming up.
This really is nice. And the way he's performing that, it's clear that there's the potential to turn that into a Lopez over time, because he's still only 20, Pau Jimenez. Loses his form just a little coming into the landing position, but it's not egregious. They should score well. 14.575 is the aggregate score, 14.45 for the second vault. I said I thought it would be close. He's level with Benovic, but Benovic, by virtue of his second vault, the 14.85, is in the lead on the tie-break criteria. Single highest scoring vault trumps in the event of a tie. Quite a difficult walk to take your seat, isn't it, when you dress like that? Well done to Jimenez. Just to contextualise that, he's giving away the best part of a full mark of difficulty to Benovic, but he still managed to be level with him because the clarity of his vaulting was exquisite. 9.5, 9.25. If he hadn't had that very small adjustment on landing, that would have been a leading position. Now, it means that it's Benovic, Jimenez and Demdundoj 1, 2 and 3 at the halfway stage. We still have Unai Baigori, Daniel Trifonov, Dusan Djordjevic and Kevin Penev to come. And there is the learned Dusan Djordjevic. He's a fascinating chap. 28, a doctoral candidate at the University of Niš, the third largest city in Serbia, birthplace of Constantine the Great, and 2 other Roman emperors. Djordjevic has just published a paper on injury frequency in artistic gymnastics. He has also been undertaking some scholarship on the effects of endurance training on performance in women's football. One hopes that there's a place for Dusan Djordjevic in the governance of the sport, nationally or internationally, once his career is done, because he clearly has so much academia to contribute to his great experience as an athlete. What an exciting young man we have here in Unai Baigori from Vitoria-Gasteiz in the Basque country. He's 19, made his World Challenge Cup final debut yesterday by finishing 4th in the pommel horse competition. Here's a young man with very good basic technique. His fundamentals are secure. And he opens with a Schufelt vault. The 2.5 twisting Yurchenko. A very elegant performance of that vault. Has a little tidying up to do perhaps of the feet. Oh, that's nice. 14.55. That's a jump of about a third of a mark from qualification for his Schufelt. One gets the sense that he could go further with that because he's making it look rather simple. Does that become a Shirai one day? Yeah, very nice to watch. Very nice to watch. Unai Baigori. I mentioned about that first vault potentially becoming a Shirai named after Shirai Kenzo. That's his absolute hero, by the way, so you can bet your bottom dollar he has thought about it. It's amazing. It all started for this young man when he went to a birthday party of one of his friends and saw people doing gymnastic tricks there. Said, I want to do that. Now look at him, he's a full international. That was full twisting Kasamatsu, vault number 2. For 13.7 for the second vault, a 14.125 average score. He increases by just over a tenth from qualification, slots into third place. So it is Benovic, Jimenez and now Baigori. To Daniel Trifonov, the young Bulgarian who made the Junior World Championship final in Turkey in Antalya last year. Tough time there, he was the top qualifier, finished 6th, but the pedigree of this young man is absolutely clear. Good start. 2.4.8 difficulty vaults for Daniel Trifonov. Again, the long-term plan there, one imagines, will be just to get an extra half twist into that vault. And he's off to a nice start. He's quite central. He's well executed. If he turns that, probably when he turns that into the 1.5 twisting Kasamatsu, that'll be a 5.2. For now it's a 4.8. .1, exactly the same as qualification. It's well executed. Second vault for Daniel Trifonov. He gets some nice height on his double twisting Yurchenko. He was part of the Bulgarian team that made it onto the junior podium at the European Championships a few years ago. And we have a European Championships coming up in Rimini very soon, in a matter of a couple of weeks now. Again, like his first vault, it's quite central. Keeps his arms reasonably tidy. Absolutely. Good young athlete, this. 14.3, so 14.2. The aggregate score puts Daniel Trifonov into third place. He's just managed to creep ahead of Unai Baigori, who was on 14.125, and it was really down to that improved second vault. Benovic, Jimenez, Trifonov, 1, 2 and 3. What an enjoyable vault final it is. Now, He has the potential to intercede, but the first vault has got to be better than qualification for Dusan Đorđević. He only picked up a 13.15 for vault number 1 in the preliminary round, a 14.2 for the second vault. He won a bronze medal on vault in Varna in his 19th World Cup event last year, the first Serbian man to get onto the podium for 17 years. Oh, shame. A wry smile as the hands go down for Dusan Đorđević. He's such a good gymnast at taking things philosophically. I tell you, this gentleman slogged away to get that medal in Varna last year. He was so proud of it, rightly so. And he does all of this, his training as an elite athlete, while studying for his PhD, publishing academic papers in sports science. It's a roche, but with a roll at the end of it. .13, so actually down a fraction from qualifying. Second vault from Đorđević. That's more controlled. He does a better job with his 1.5 twisting Kasamatsu. He's been the national champion on floor as well. He will take a 0.1 penalty, naturally, for the side step out of bounds. Famous surname in Serbia, as I've mentioned before, Đorđević, because Vladan Đorđević, no relation, is regarded as the founding father of gymnastics in Serbia. He created the first club in 1882. 13.525 is the average score, 14.05 for the Kasamatsu 1.5 second vault. Now the last performer, Kevin Penev. 23, born in New York and a graduate of the University of Michigan, a prestigious institution, and he has a degree in economics. He qualified for Paris 2024 when he finished 8th in the World Championship final on vault. A little issue with the form and the stability of that opening vault from Kevin Penev of Bulgaria. He scored 14.15 for both of his vaults in qualification. Generally speaking, his execution has been extremely clean in recent competitions. Round off, half on, front layout, double twist off the opening vault. .4. Now what's interesting is that he only had a 5.0 difficulty credited for the first vault in qualification. So the extra 4/10, not matched by the execution, but he is still up by about a third. Big hop there on the second vault. That was a sizable landing adjustment. And this is going to be very interesting because we've got Trifonov in third place with 14.2. Penev, after all, has just produced a 14.4. So it will be an interesting weight. That's the Kasamatsu 1.5, which is a 5.2 difficulty vault. So as long as he manages to gain in excess of, or manages to gain a 14, then he's on the podium. He'll win a tiebreak with Trifonov, whose highest scoring vault is 14.3. And there we go. He has made it. 14.3 the total score. The average score, 14.2 for the second vault for Kevin Penev, and he has got himself onto the podium. Yet again, Kevin Penev, a bronze medalist here in Osijek. He won the bronze on floor yesterday, but it's Aurel Benovic who's taken the title in front of his home fans. A very special moment for him. Osijek's own has taken the gold. Aurel Benovic of Croatia with the win in the men's vault title on a tiebreak with Pau Jimenez of Spain by virtue of having the single highest scoring vault. And the Bulgarian Kevin Penev takes his second bronze medal of this weekend. Huge congratulations to Pau Jimenez. It's his first ever international medal. And we'll proceed directly to the victory ceremony in the men's vault competition.
Svečanost proglašenja pobjednika u disciplini preskok u konkurenciji gimnastičara. Award ceremony for men's vault.
The victory ceremony in the men's vault competition in Osijek.
The medals will be presented by Mr. Krešimir Šamija, Director General of the Directorate General for Sport at the Ministry of Tourism and Sports. Treće mjesto I brončana medalja, predstavnik Bugarske. In the third place, winning the bronze medal representing Bulgaria, Kevin Penev.
Bulgaria's Kevin Penev wins his second bronze medal in Osijek after finishing third in the floor final yesterday.
Drugo mjesto I srebrna medalja, predstavnik Španjolske. In the second place, winning the silver medal representing Spain, Pau Jimenez.
Pau Jimenez of Spain with a really accomplished performance on vault. Despite not having the sort of difficulty that the gold medalist had, he's still tied with him on average score. Beautiful execution from the 20-year-old.
The gold medal representing Croatia, Aurel Benovic.
But by virtue of the single highest scoring vault, that 14.85 for vault number 2, Aurel Benovic from Osijek has won in Osijek. It doesn't get to be much better than that. A hometown win. His national anthem will be played in his hometown in his honor.
If you're able to, please stand for the national anthem of Croatia.
Lijepa naša domovino, our beautiful homeland, the national anthem of Croatia. The third verse contains the lines Drava Sava, keep on flowing, Danube, do not lose your vigour. Well, they know all about it in this particular place, for this is Osijek, where the Drava River and the Danube converge. The women's balance beam final in Osijek, and the top performer in qualification was the Ukrainian Anna Lashchevska, who will be the anti-penultimate gymnast to compete. She has already won a number of balance beam World Cup titles.
The first finalist representing Hungary, Hanna-Lena Kutashi.
Huge congratulations to Hanna Kutashi of Hungary, her senior international debut, and she's made the final, a 15-year-old. Sara Surmanova of Slovakia, the sixth best performer in qualification. She made the uneven bars final yesterday.
Third finalist representing France, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos.
The second best performer in qualification. The crowd excited as ever to see Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France. She won the uneven bars title yesterday. Now to another French champion from yesterday.
The fourth finalist representing France, Colline de Viard.
France's Colline de Viard won her 10th World Cup medal yesterday and her 5th gold when she triumphed on vault. Can she now get another on beam?
Representing the Czech Republic, Emma Strakošová.
A 15-year-old World Cup debutant from the Czech Republic, Emma Strakošová. She was the third best performer in qualification. Huge congratulations to her.
Predstavnica Ukrajine, the sixth finalist representing Ukraine, Anna Lashchevska.
The top performer in the preliminary round, Anna Lashchevska of Ukraine. 13.2 was her score.
Predstavnice Hrvatske, the seventh finalist representing Croatia, Tina Zelčić.
A warm reception for Zagreb's Tina Zelčić. A balance beam specialist is Tina Zelčić, and she won the bronze medal in Osijek last year.
I osma finalistica, predstavnice Mađarske, the eighth finalist representing Hungary, Lila Makaj.
Fourth on uneven bars yesterday. Lila Makaj was the seventh best performer in qualification for this final. The Hungarian turns 18 in 5 days. There they are, the balance beam finalists.
The first four finalists have 2 minutes, one touch warm-up time. Now you will start warming up.
Dakle, čeka nas greda, a pozdravimo još jednog pobjednika u preskoku, Aurel Benović.
In the first half of the women's balance beam final, we're going to see the 4th, 6th, 2nd and 5th best qualifiers. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, the second best performer in the preliminary round, about 3/4 of a mark, slightly shy of that, behind Anna Lashchevska, the Ukrainian, who will go in the second half of the final. But de Jesus dos Santos had a difficulty score of 5.6 in qualification, just 2/10 shy of Lashchevska. So there's absolutely the potential for the French gymnast to win it, and indeed for Colin Deviard to get onto the podium with her difficulty score too. The best execution score of all of the qualifiers came from the youngster from Prague, Emma Strakosheva, who will be the first to go in the second half of the final. She had a brilliant qualification campaign, and she did also have a 10th penalty deducted for a late finish to the routine, so that really was a strong debut performance from Strakosheva. It's going to be exciting to anticipate her arrival in this final after the first half have done their work.
Zadnjih 10 sekundi, the last 10 seconds.
Dajte još jedan pljesak za sve natjecatelje.
I zagrijavanje je završeno. Molim da počnete s natjecanjem. Warm-up is over. Please start the competition.
Anna Kutashi of Hungary, the first gymnast to go. She is from Bekeshaba, which is in the southeast of Hungary, the same place as a gymnast you may well know from days gone by, the great Henrietta Onodi. Qualification score 12.1, the fourth best. Oh, that's unfortunate. She nearly got through that. It's a little bit of difficulty stabilising things coming out of the side aerial. Secure dismount from Anna Kutashi of Hungary, the senior international debutant. She was part of the Hungarian team that competed at the Junior World Championships in Antalya last year. It started very securely. The front tuck was really well judged in terms of its line. The real issue came with the wolf turns. Does well to get good horizontal height in her leaps and jumps. Just a single layout to dismount with greater complexity no doubt to come. She should feel really pleased with how this first World Cup competition has gone. Great accomplishment to make an international balance beam final. She represents a club called Veszprémi Torna, and she scores 10.833. So a drop of just over a mark from qualification.
Druga finalistica, predstavnica je Slovačke. The second finalist representing Slovakia, Sara Surmanova.
Sara Surmanova of Slovakia, 6th best in qualification. The teenager from Bratislava. As well with the front tuck somersault to mount. Little bits of stabilisation needed throughout, such as her completion of that front aerial. She's done very well to make a couple of finals over the course of this weekend. One on the uneven bars, now this on beam. The first time that she's made World Cup finals not at the vaulting table. So that itself is an important milestone. And this is now settled into a secure looking display. Just perhaps a little tentative on the jumps. She finishes really nicely. Sara Surmanova of Slovakia.
Sara Surmanova.
One of those many young athletes who started as a gymnast because, in her words, she was found, quotes, always climbing or hanging somewhere as a child. So I think she's entirely typical with a standard entry point into this wonderful sport. I'm sure there are many of you watching this who know exactly how she feels, or maybe your parents who know exactly how it feels when you've got a child who does that. Whoever it was who took the step to encourage her to formalise her energetic pursuits into gymnastics training made the right call.
Koliko se ocjenjuje, odnosno koliko je važan sam ulazak na spravu?
Nije važan, možete naskočiti u špagu, možete napraviti ludi akrobatski element, bitno je ono na kraju.
Good to see that sort of display from Surmanova after a really difficult fall at the end of her uneven bars routine yesterday. She landed pretty well flat on her back when going for the dismount. But she is a tough and determined young athlete. 11.166 is a drop of half a mark from qualification. Difficulty is actually up. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, second best in qualification, 12.533, but with a 5.6 difficulty score, the second highest that we saw in qualification. European champion on beam in 2021. Powerful start. Did well to keep it under control because she got serious amplitude coming off the springboard. What a nicely performed front aerial. Oh, it's a cracking dismount from Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. Really well rotated. The European champion from 2021. A 6.933 for execution in qualification.
Ona je odradila vježbu ako uspoređujemo s prethodne dvije natjecateljice. Težinski će biti to veća početna ocjena, teže akrobatske elemente izvila, kao i plesne elemente, tako da će svakako ta početna ocjena biti u startu veća. Imala je ona mali greškica,
There is
nesigurnosti, ali
a lot of complexity accumulated from many of the jumps that she does.
samo odraditi vježbu bez pada, a onda ovi s većim težinama naravno da profitiraju.
Gledali smo jučer na dvovisinski vrućama, sada na gredi koliko je zahtjevno na taj način mijenjati spravu.
Pa ona je jedna klasična višebojka.
And they're largely very well performed too, with height, with intensity, with assurance.
Izvrsna višebojka.
Još jednom, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, pozdravite velikim pljeskom.
And then the double pipe to conclude was again performed with the sort of attack that she used at the start of the routine. .533 in qualification.
Još čekamo za Melanie ocjene, pa ću pročitati isto sve te njezine medalje koje je osvojila, dakle aktualna nositeljica svjetske ekipne bronce iz Antwerpena, europska prvakinja vježbe na tlu Glasgow 2018, više boje šćeći 2019, a na gredi iz Bazela 2021. Osvojila je ekipno srebro na Europskom prvenstvu u Glasgowu 2018, pojedinačno na gredi na Europskom prvenstvu 2019. A u više boju je osvojila europsku broncu u Cluj na Poketi 2017. godine.
Way better, as expected in the final. 13.133. Difficulty is 2/10 lower than qualification, but the execution is up by the best part of a mark. Colleen Deviard of France, the vault champion from yesterday.
The fourth finalist representing France, Colleen Deviard.
Fifth best in qualification with 11.733. Again, the potential to move this up quite a bit. Her execution the lowest of any of the qualifiers for the final. Oh, what a double pipe to conclude from Colleen Deviard of France. Strong work from both the French gymnasts in this balance beam final. She's had a very good World Cup, Deviard. Part of the French team, along with de Jesus dos Santos even, that made it onto the podium in Antwerp.
2 minutes, one touch warm-up time. You may start for
Switch leap mount to begin.
A među njima je i naša Tina Zelčić. Tina, samo kratko o okolini, njen nastup kakav je bio?
Njen nastup je bio solidan, to je vježba koja je stvarno korektna i što se tiče akrobatskih elemenata i serija skokova pogotovo. Međutim, ako kao sutkinja mogu uspoređivati i artističnost i nekakav dojam, bez da sada na papir zapišem, mislim da je njena kolegica za nekakvu nijansu, mislim da će to biti bolja ocjena. Ali evo opet, cure za sad bez pada odrađeno, to je jedan određeni pressing koji dolazi na sljedeće 4 cure.
Managed to fight successfully for stability after the side somersault. Not much issue at all with the execution of the dismount. What good work from Colin Deviat. 12.766, and she is in second place. She's jumped by over a mark from qualification. So France 1 and 2.
Bravo, bravo Tina, još jednom. Tina Zelčić.
Four to go. Emma Strakosheva, followed by Anna Lashchevska, followed by Tina Zelčić, followed by Lila Mokai. Hope you're enjoying all of the action so far from Osijek on the second day of finals at this World Challenge Cup event.
10 seconds.
We still have the women's floor final and also the men's horizontal bar and rings finals.
I zagrijavanje je završeno. Molimo da nastavite s natjecanjem. Warm-up is over. Please continue the competition.
We just had a glimpse there of the top qualifier, Anna Lashchevska, 13.2, but the leading mark is 13.133. Things have changed. Different dynamic now to this beam final. Emma Strakosheva of the Czech Republic.
Emma Strakosheva.
12.333 in qualification, the third best of any of the qualifiers. She's only 15. This is her World Cup debut. What an exciting young prospect from Prague. A nice fluid looking Corbett flip. What a graceful and impressive young athlete Emma Strakosheva is. A lot of very good work there from the youngster. She was part of the Czech team that finished 15th at the Junior World Championships. She was actually at her best on floor and vault there, so she's developing all the time. But they've got some prospects coming through the Czech Republic. And this was an occasion well handled. You just have to ask yourself, don't you, what goes through the mind of a gymnast when they are competing as a 15-year-old in their first senior international final. And it's a well-attended competition in a big space with a formal walkout. You're introduced by an arena presenter. You march through the entranceway and you see right next to you, you've got two European champions performing ahead of you. One of them, the beam champion from 2021. You've also got a two-time European vault champion, the reigning European vault champion, no less, and you're in that group with them. And she's delivered something here that certainly is close to what she performed in the preliminary round. It was always going to be hard to match the execution. I'm not sure that she will. Actually gets very close. 7.6 execution, 7.833 in qualification, 12.2. That's almost the same, down by just over a tenth from the preliminary round. But she does go into the bronze medal position. 3 to go. Here's the top qualifier, Anna Lashchevska. 13.2 in the preliminary round for the young Ukrainian. 16-year-old who really impressed on beam last season in World Cup competition. And she won 2 titles. What a display this is so far. Very impressive. Anna Lashchevska of Ukraine. Certainly it is going to trouble the podium. A gymnast who has returned to international competition after making her World Championship debut in Antwerp last year. She's been based in France and Germany over the last year and a half or so. Comes out of the position with such a good line and real authority in her landing. Nice way to appreciate the sort of height that Lashchevska gets on her leaps and jumps. And that's a great way to build some difficulty. Some good connection work in this performance. Again, the side aerial with a secure line. Small landing adjustment, that's all as she completes the twisting work. It's very, very good, this. Oh, 8.2 for execution. She's flown into the lead. 14 the score. What a strong display from Anna Lashevska. It could well be that another balance beam title is impending. To Croatia's own Tina Zelčić.
Representing Croatia, Tina Zelčić.
She finished third in front of these fans last year. That was the second of her international medals that summer. She won the silver medal in Varna for her first ever international honours. Very experienced athlete. This is World Cup number 16 for her. Thus far it is looking beyond what she produced in the preliminary round. Very good work from Tina Zelčić in front of her home crowd. Now she scored 11.5 in qualification. That looks a significantly stronger display. Trains in her home city of Zagreb, the capital of Croatia. This is her first final of 2024, having previously competed in Cairo, Cottbus and Baku. Well, that's what the role is for gymnasts like Zelčić, to get the young fans excited, to get the next generation inspired. Did well to hold that because the foot could have slipped off. And look at the stability of the dismount, plants the feet. Her execution score in qualification was 6.9, and she has gone so far beyond that. A score of 13 for Tina Zelčić. She goes into the bronze medal position. Also adds 2 tenths of difficulty. So it is Lashevska, De Jesus dos Santos and Zelčić 1, 2 and 3, with Lila Mokai the last to go. Her score in qualification 11.566. It's been a really enjoyable balance beam final in Osijek. Lots of gymnasts stepping up from qualification and going well beyond their preliminary round displays. And a near capacity crowd in Osijek thrilled at the prospect of her winning a medal. Always draws a gasp from the crowd, that sort of mount.
Druga Tino, kratko da te čujemo, samo osvrt na nastup Lile Makaj.
Nijedna cura nije pala, znači stvarno su cure postavile jedan visoki pressing od starta i evo ovo je bila korektna vježba, pričekat ćemo ocjenu da ne govorim ništa, ali mislim da to nije dovoljno za medalju, ali nemojte još slaviti, pričekat ćemo sutkinje i evo drago mi je, tamo sam prije nastupa mislila kako ti mi treba vježba života, znači bez pomaka to je napravila, što znači u ovom sportu je glava najbitnija, a glavu ima. Bravo ti!
Bravo, bravo! Svimi su i to, sretna je jako, čekat ćemo službeno proglašenje, ali još jednom, Tina Zelčić!
Another gymnast going well beyond qualification, Lila Mokai, 12.433. That is a gain of around 0.9 from the preliminary round. What a good final. The classified results in the balance beam competition. Bronze to the home gymnast Tina Zelčić for the second year in a row. Silver won by Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France after her title on the uneven bars yesterday. And it is yet another balance beam World Cup win for Anna Lashevska of Ukraine. The finalists in the men's horizontal bar competition in Osijek, and the top performer in qualification, Tang Chia-hung of Chinese Taipei, will go second to last.
Prvi finalist, predstavnik Mađarske. The first finalist representing Hungary, Balázs Kiss.
Fourth in qualification for this men's horizontal bar final, Balázs Kiss of Hungary. 24 and from Budapest.
Drugi finalist, predstavnik Španjolske. The second finalist representing Spain, Daniel Carrion.
Ready and raring to go, Daniel Carrion of Spain, 19 from Sevilla. The sixth best performer in qualification, his first international horizontal bar final.
Predstavnik je Velike Britanije. The third finalist representing Great Britain, Adam Tobin.
Youth Olympian from 2018, Great Britain's Adam Tobin. Fifth on pommel hall, sixth on the parallel bars, and seventh in qualification for this horizontal bar final.
Hrvatske, the fourth finalist representing Croatia, Tin Srbić.
An absolute hero to these folk and to many around the world is Tin Srbić, the runner-up at the last World Championships and the second place gymnast at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. He was the fifth best in qualification but can go way beyond that.
Cameron Lynn.
Eighth best in qualification from the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Cameron Lynn, the Scottish all-around champion.
Šesti finalist, predstavnik je Švicarske. The sixth finalist representing Switzerland, Taha Serhani.
What a privilege it is to have the Swiss national champion on horizontal bar in this final. Taha Serhani was the third best in qualification.
Sedmi finalist, predstavnik je kineskog Tajpeja. The seventh finalist representing Chinese Taipei, Tang Chia-hung.
And now a man who's done so well in Olympic qualification. Tang Chia-hung's having a super season. The top performer in qualification, the king of cats as they call him, has pretty well got the cream when it comes to a place in Paris.
The 8th finalist representing Israel, Alexander Myakinin.
The second best performer in qualification, Israel's Alexander Myakinin, the bronze medalist at the European Championships of 2020 and winner of 7 World Cup medals. Very unusual that we don't conclude a World Cup weekend with the men's horizontal bar final. Still 2 finals to come, women's floor and men's rings. In the first group, Tin Serbic, the 5th best in qualification, but the silver medalist at the last World Championships and at the Tokyo Olympic Games, Croatia's own. The top performer in the preliminary round was Tang Chia-hung of Chinese Taipei, 15.1. That was some way stronger than the 14.25 of Alexander Myakinin, the second best in qualification. But you know what a men's horizontal bar final is like. Things can be very, very different compared to those preliminary scores. We shall discover. Time to begin the men's horizontal bar final. Balázs Kiss is the first gymnast to compete. The gentleman from Budapest scored 13.55 in qualification, the 4th best. He was a medalist on the horizontal bar at the National Championships last year, finished 3rd. Yet to win a World Cup medal. One arm giant swing. And Kovac, that looked quite nice. Very good landing from Balázs Kiss. An effective performance there from the Hungarian to get us underway. He's been fourth on 2 occasions before this weekend in a World Challenge Cup final. Best known for his performances internationally on the rings. And he is the joint reigning Hungarian champion on rings. We will see him in the rings final to complete our coverage of this Osijek World Challenge Cup as we look at him completing his Kovac. .55 in qualification, 13.35 in the final. Difficulty down by a 10th and execution also down by a 10th. The next gymnast is the young Spaniard Daniel Carrion. 19 from the lovely city of Sevilla. Made his World Cup debut in Azerbaijan last year. And although he is from Sevilla, he's based in the Canary Islands for training purposes. Big attack coming up at the start into the Coleman. And a straddle catch that really had a sense of purpose to it. It's very quick and fluid work. Gets some real height into his dismount. He's done well there, Daniel Carrion. I don't think it will be a huge surprise to see him start really contending for domestic honours in the next couple of years. He was 7th in last year's all-around national championships. Nice looking catch here, that really well delivered. In qualification, Daniel Carrion was 2/10 behind Volaj Kiss. With that score of 13.15, he is 2/10 behind him in the final two. They've both dropped by 2/10. Adam Tobin of Great Britain. To give you a sense of how close it was in terms of qualification, Balázs Kiss on 13.55 was the 4th best and Tobin was the 7th best on 13.35, so we could get a little movement. Tobin goes for a Coleman and then into a Kovac. That was nice. Now a straight Kachev. 3 big release moves. Difficult to keep a sense of control in the pirouetting. One arm giant had a nice snap to it. And there's his conventional straddle Kachev. Very interesting, bold work from Adam Tobin of Great Britain, going in search of his first World Cup medal. It's the 3rd time he's competed in Osijek, the 6th time overall in World Cup competition. Starts with the Coleman and quite quickly motored on into the Kovac. And we had a couple of Kachevs in there as well for good measure. The straight position, and later on he employed the straddle version. .13.5 for Adam Tobin. He's the first gymnast to improve upon his qualification performance, and he leads the final after 3. Small increase in Tobin's difficulty. A smaller increase still in his execution, leading to a gain of 0.15. That's good work. There is anticipation, excitement, nervousness, and many other emotions as Croatia's own Tin Srbic takes to his apparatus in his World Cup. The silver medalist at the Olympic Games in Tokyo, the world champion from 2017 and twice the runner-up at the World Championships, including last year. He's also the reigning champion of Europe. Put it simply, this man is one of the greats. Beautiful looking straight Kachev. Straddle Kachev. Very good work. Linking his Kachev skills. And then the Coleman. Well, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice from Tin Srbic? He was the 5th best performer in qualification. He's come out and really gone for the final. That's what he said to himself at the Olympic Games. In his words, we go all in. And he's very good at choosing the right difficulty for the right occasion. the 27-year-old engineering graduate from the University of Zagreb in the Croatian capital. Absolutely. That perfectly sums up the general mood ahead of this performance from one of their favourites. And I'm sure one of your favourites too, because he's hugely popular internationally, Tin Srbic. And this is going to be nothing like the qualification score, that's clear. It's way more difficult, it's just a question of by how much. Oh, what a transformation. 14.65 for Tin Srbic. His difficulty is up by 0.9. His execution up by 0.3. It is a gain of 1.2 from the preliminary round. Yet again, we see one of his most important skills, which is the ability to produce the difficulty when it matters. You cannot, as a top-level horizontal bar gymnast, do your highest difficulty every single time you compete and expect that to be what yields success. It's all about pacing yourself, and Srbic has got into the final in the way that he needed to get into the final, and he's now produced something transformative when the medals are there to be won. And it now asks a big old question of the top two performers in the preliminary round, Tang Chia-hung and the gentleman we just saw there, Alexander Miakinin. The Scottish all-around champion Cameron Lynn represented the nation of his birth at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, where Scotland finished fifth in the team competition. Now he represents the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland at large. .13.3 the score in the preliminary stage. He uses, like many, the Coleman. Does it well. And the Kovac too, keeping his swingfulness going. Just about kept the form in the straight Kachev. Straddle Kachev as well, plenty going on. Building now towards the conclusion of the routine. Cameron Lynn, very good. A smile from the young man whose confidence has blossomed over the last couple of years. He's spoken of a desire to really make his mark after what he considers to be flying under the radar. He represents West Lothian, domestic level. Have the cleanest of form with the feet, trying to get clearance in that straight Kachev. Very similar to the work of Adam Tobin in terms of the construction of the release and regrasp elements. Might not be a lot to separate them. .13.45 for Cameron Lynn. He is in the bronze medal position, and that actually is 500ths behind Tobin, who did have an extra tenth of difficulty. To a gymnast with strong difficulty in the preliminary round, Tahar Sahani, a 5.9. He was the third best in qualification. It was well executed by the Swiss national champion. .28, he is the second oldest in the final. Good height in the first Kachev. This is going to be big, and it's successful. Couple of good-looking Kachevs. Didn't quite manage to get to the handstand position. First Yamawaki we've seen, hops over well. He's so experienced, Tahar Sahani. Part of the Swiss team that made the top 5 at the last World Championships. And that was his third consecutive World Championships. The noticeable issue for Sahani was not with the release and regrasps. It was there. To have what looked like a directional change. Well performed. It's just a question of what that directional change will do. Yeah, 13.4. Difficulty is down by 4/10. His execution as well. All the release and regrasps, very nice looking. Among the finest we've seen, frankly, but it's that small detail, almost imperceptible, where he had problems with the Takamoto skill, working close to the apparatus. Tang Chia-hung of Chinese Taipei, now the top qualifier, steps up to the apparatus. This gentleman is one of the most engaging in the world on the horizontal bar, and the world has agreed with him this year because he's been brilliant in Olympic qualification. Straight Kachev, straddle Kachev, pike Kachev. Any other Kachevs? As many as you want. Casina, oh, such a whip around of the body. I think that's the first Casina we've had. Now, that's a full twisting Yamawaki. He's graceful, he's elegant, he's powerful, and he's landed well. Tang Chia-hung of Chinese Taipei. He is having a great season. And let us not forget that in Tokyo at the last Olympiad, he was 7th in the all-around competition. It's often forgotten about him because he's so highly regarded as a horizontal bar specialist. But to be the 7th best all-around gymnast at an Olympic Games, that's not something that happens by chance. Isn't that a treat though, the full twist in the Yamawaki skill. It's a very straight body in that opening Kachev. And it's how he links them all one after t'other after t'other. Could watch that all day, couldn't you? A lot of respect from Tin Serbic. Tang Chia-hung, he's easily into the lead, 15.35, a massive score, a 6.5 for difficulty. The last gymnast, Alexander Myakinin, second best in qualification with 14.25. That would only be sufficient for the bronze medal now. It's Tang, Serbic and Tobin, 1, 2 and 3. Myakinin certainly can do it, but he was 5th in Osijek last year. Sometimes he is just fabulous on this apparatus. The consistency is not always there. But he starts with a good Casina and performs a Coleman with amplitude. A couple of Kachevs. And that is an excellent landing from Alexander Myakinin, the oldest man in the final at 29. He was 23rd at the last World Championships, yet to make a final. Already a winner of 7 World Cup medals, and he needs only to go beyond the 13.5 of Adam Tobin to make it 8 World Cup medals.
Imamo medalju Tim Srbiji.
14.5. He's done really well, Mjakinen. Close to the score of Tin Srbic, and a richly deserved bronze medal for him. The classified results in the men's horizontal bar competition: a stylish gold for Chinese Taipei's Tang Qiaheng, with Tin Srbic, the home gymnast, taking second place, and Alexander Mjakinin winning the bronze.
Tina Zelčić I za kraj Tin Srbic.
Lots of excitement for the home fans because they've seen their gymnasts perform very well. And we've now got a couple of victory ceremonies to bring you.
Svečanost proglašenja pobjednica u disciplini greda. Award ceremony for balance beam.
The victory ceremony for the balance beam competition at the Osijek World Challenge Cup.
Medalje će uručiti gospođa Jasenka Crnković, zamjenica gradonačelnika grada Osijeka. The medals will be presented by Mrs. Jasenka Crnković, Deputy Mayor of Osijek.
Proud moment for the Deputy Mayor of the city as well
Predstavnica Hrvatske.
to present these international gymnastics medals.
Tina Zelčić.
They cannot keep her off the podium in Osijek. Last year, Tina Zelčić won her first ever international medal, a silver on beam in Varna, Bulgaria. She followed it up with a bronze medal in Osijek and has done the same a year later. A determined and disciplined gymnast who's worked very hard to break through at international level. Winning the silver medal, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France. A gymnast who has had a really successful World Challenge Cup in Osijek, adding this to her uneven bars title.
In the first place, winning the gold medal representing Ukraine, Anna Lashevska.
If you can add 8/10 to your qualification score going into a final on the balance beam, you're in with a very good chance of getting a medal. If you do that as the top qualifier, you are surely untouchable. Lashevska was exactly that today. Her 5th World Cup gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to, please stand for the national anthem of Ukraine.
The national anthem of Ukraine, written by Pavlo Chubinsky and Mihailo Verbitsky in the 1860s and formally adopted in 1992, and with lyrics in 2003, played in honour of Anna Lashevska and her fellow medalists in the women's balance beam competition.
been thinking, I've been drinking. Anything that matter needs to toss the feeling. I ain't joking, I think I'm broken. Something triggers me at any given moment. Wasn't my plan, but it's the truth. And it ain't a phase that I'm going through. All that I am, all that I do, always seems to be revolving around you.
The victory ceremony for the men's horizontal bar competition. What a good final this was.
Award ceremony for high bar. Medalje će uručiti gospodin Josip Miletić, zamjenik župana Osječko-baranjske županije. The medals will be presented by Mr. Josip Miletić, Deputy Prefect of the Osijek-Baranja County. Treće mjesto i brončanu medalju osvojio je predstavnik Izraela. In the third place, winning the bronze medal representing Israel, Aleksandar Mjakinjin.
With the last performance of the final, Aleksandar Mjakinjin of Israel took the bronze medal and took it well. 14.5 his score. That's his 8th World Cup medal. And an improvement by 2 places from last year's competition in Osijek.
Predstavnik Hrvatske. In the second place, winning the silver medal representing Croatia, Tin Srbić.
Tin Srbić of Croatia, the man from Zagreb, is on the podium in his home World Cup. It's a 19th World Cup medal for Srbić. And even for somebody as decorated as him, it's a special thing when he can get onto the podium at home.
In the first place, winning the gold medal representing Chinese Taipei, Deng Chiahang.
But this is the gentleman who is the form performer on the horizontal bar this season. He's handled the pressure of Olympic qualification beautifully. He's almost across the line in those qualification events. Now he can feel supremely confident after this display. Another gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to, please stand for the national anthem of Chinese Taipei.
The medalists in the men's horizontal bar competition in Osijek. We have 2 finals left to bring you. The women's floor and men's rings competitions.
Srebro, Tin Srbić.
The finalists in the women's floor competition. Top performer in qualification, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, who will go last in this final.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin with the final on floor. Please welcome the finalists. Prva finalistica, predstavnica je Francuske. The first finalist representing France, Colline Deviat.
The third strongest performer in qualification, Colline Deviat of France.
Druga finalistica, predstavnica Ukrajine. The second finalist representing Ukraine, Polina Dyachenko.
A strong senior international debut for Polina Dyachenko of Ukraine. This is her second final. She qualifies in 8th place after finishing 6th on the uneven bars.
Treća finalistica, predstavnica Češke. Third finalist representing the Czech Republic, Klara Peterkova.
From the Czech Republic, Klara Peterkova. The 6th best in qualification, the 17-year-old who made it to the vault final.
Četvrta finalistica, predstavnica Mađarske. The fourth finalist representing Hungary, Lila Makaj.
Hungary's Lila Makaj, the 7th best in qualification after finishing 4th on the uneven bars yesterday and making the beam final.
Peta finalistica, predstavnica Mađarske. The 5th finalist representing Hungary, Greta Mayer.
Hungary's Greta Mayer, who finished 4th in qualification, the silver medalist on vault.
Šesta finalistica, predstavnica Velike Britanije. The 6th finalist representing Great Britain, Abigail Martin.
From Great Britain, Abigail Martin, the 2nd best performer in qualification. She was 4th on vault yesterday.
Sedma finalistica, predstavnica Francuske. The 7th finalist representing France, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos.
The top performer in qualification was topped by a long way, 1.1 marks. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, the favourite to win this.
U finalu bit će ih samo 7 jer je jedna finalistica odustala. There will only be 7 finalists in this final because one finalist withdrew.
Well, we have confirmation there that Anna Lashchevska has withdrawn from the women's floor final.
You may start warming up.
So just 7 gymnasts will compete.
Kreće dakle finale ženskog tla, ženskog partera. Ponovno Tina ovdje s nama. Tina, određena razlika postoji određeno u odnosu na muški parter. Koja je osnovna razlika?
In the first half of the final then, we will see the 3rd best qualifier, Colline Deviat. We'll have Polina Dyachenko, the 8th best performer in qualification, Klara Peterkova, the 6th best performer in qualification, and Lila Makaj, the 7th best performer in qualification. And that means that there'll be an interesting wait to see what kind of scores are required for the likes of Martin and de Jesus dos Santos, the top 2 qualifiers, who are the last 2 to go in this 7-strong final.
Akrobatike zahtjeva da je određeni zalet, određena sila da se iskoristi za sve rotacije i salta koje oni moraju izvoditi, ali to pravilo više služi za ovaj koreografski dio. Naprimjer, ne možete više od 2 dijagonale u istom smjeru, morate izaći, vratiti se, ne možete samo ići gore-dole, tako da ima puno je pravila i ono teži se savršenosti, a još 30 sekundi, 30 sekundi. A zapravo nitko ne može pustiti savršeni izgled.
Čeka nas finale ženskog partera. Pozdravite velikim pljeskom sve finalistice!
Zadnji 10 sekundi, the last 10 seconds.
Colleen Deviard of France, the first gymnast to go in this women's floor final. The third best in qualification with 12.633. Colleen Deviard of France, the first gymnast in the women's floor final. Difficulty score of 4.7 in qualification, execution of 7.933. Has a very striking beginning to it choreographically.
Tako je, ovo je stvarno, rekli, puni paket, tu je bilo vrhunske akrobatike, plesno također prilagođeno.
Good height in her double layout tumbling sequence. Quite secure twisting. And engaging to watch.
Sve skupa je odlično, mislim da je ovo jača vježba nego u kvalifikacijama. Bilo je jedna mala greškica pri doskoku, upravo duplo grčenog salta.
A little hop coming out of the double tuck.
Gledamo, snašla se, sutkinje će to svakako malo kazniti, ali sve skupa vrlo dobra vježba.
Čini se od svih disciplina ovdje je nekako taj umjetnički dojam najizraženiji.
To se istraži, traži se zapravo da ste savršeni, u izvedbi šta ne može biti, toliko je tih odbitaka.
12.633 in the preliminary round.
Kako se ona stalno smijala, malo sam mrštila na jednom dijelu vježbe, tako da to sve zapravo ulazi u odbitke.
Colleen Deviard, pozdravite velikim pljeskom.
And an increase of 1/10 in this final. And it's a 10th of difficulty, so 12.733, the mark that all others need to surpass. Polina Dyachenko of Ukraine comes into this as the 8th best qualifier, 11.133, but with execution that she has plenty of room to build upon and competitive difficulty. Polina Diachenko of Ukraine, whose first ever senior international finals have been contested this weekend. She's only 15, from Kramatorsk in the Donetsk region. And you're watching here the reigning Ukrainian junior all-around champion. She's got some very promising tumbling. Her difficulty score in qualification was 5 exactly, with a 6.133 for execution, the lowest execution score of any qualifier.
Polina Diachenko, pozdravite i nju velikim pljeskom. Što je zanimljivo, dakle, ne treba tu biti samo ona neka ispinjena sreća i osmijeh. Zapravo je dozvoljeno doživljavati neki oblik drame uz glazbu. Sve to nekako dosta epski izgleda na ovom parketu.
Tako je, samo morate
11.133 in qualification. She was 6th on the uneven bars. Where will she place in this women's floor final? Her teammate Anna Lashchevska has withdrawn from the final. So we have just 7 gymnasts. 11.733. Good jump there of 0.6 of a mark. And that's factoring in the 0.3 of penalty for going out of bounds. Klara Petekova of the Czech Republic, 6th best in qualification with 11.733. She was 7th on vault yesterday. She has been a medalist on floor at the national championships. Isn't it nice to see a new generation of gymnasts coming through in the Czech Republic? Some absolute hope there, some reason to be excited about what the future might hold. Petekova is from Šumperk in the northeast of the Czech Republic. It's the European centre of the silk trade. And she might well find herself heading down the Silk Road in the years ahead as she competes at more World Cup competitions and possibly finds her way to places like Baku, which is one of the flagship World Cup events. Still got some tidying up to do of her form in flight, that's clear, but that will come.
puno su popularni upravo ovi okreti u čušu na jednoj nozi. Trenutno u pravilniku, tako ako ste primijetili do sad je svaka finalistkinja imala taj okret.
She was the national champion on floor the year before last, Klara Petekova. Looked very pleased with that display, didn't she? She has reason to be pleased. It's well up from qualification, 12.133. That is 4/10 stronger than the preliminary round. Great work. Lila Makai of Hungary. She scored 11.3 in the preliminary round. Following on from her participation in the uneven bars and balance beam finals, Lila Makai of Hungary. And we wish her a very happy 18th birthday in 5 days' time. She lives in Dunajváros in the area just south of Budapest on the Danube River. And we are in a Danube city here in Osijek. Dunajváros, the home city of Zsofia Kovac.
Dakle, zapravo vi nećete u finalima vidjeti lošu vježbu. Ono jedino što se na tlu
It's been a great turnaround from an injury-hit spell earlier on in her career when she was a junior gymnast.
Ono što sada stručno mogu reći za vježbu je mislim da je napravila par plesnih elemenata.
Really did grapple with whether she wanted to be doing this. And how wonderful that she made the choice to continue, because she's developed into an important part of the Hungarian squad.
Ne može suce ništa taknuti.
Suci su hladni kao led, njih to ništa ne dira.
Lila Makai, 11.3 in qualification, 10.9 in the final. She's in 4th place at the halfway stage, albeit a halfway point with just 3 to go because of the withdrawal of Anna Lashchevska. So it is Colleen Deviat who leads.
Warm-up is over. You may start.
Klara Petekova doing very well to have slotted into 2nd place. She was the 6th best qualifier. Just 3 to come. Greta Meyer, Abby Martin and Melanie de Jesus dos Santos. the silver medalist on vault yesterday, Grete Moya of Hungary. Fourth best in qualification for this final with a score of 12.6. The national champion on floor. She won the title in September last year. That is likely to alter the complexion of the leaderboard. Grete Moya of Hungary, who scored 12.6 in qualification. She's represented Hungary at the last two World Championships. And she actually won a medal on floor at the Junior European Championships back in 2020. That competition that came right at the end of the first phase resumption of gymnastics in 2020. I think it was the Sombate World Challenge Cup in 2020 in her home country that was pretty well the first competitive international event that was held, and the European Championships came just a couple of months after that, and that's where really we started to notice Grete Moya as an international prospect. And she's picked up a lot of domestic medals since then, and some international ones too. Performed a fantastic layout Yurchenko vault to secure the silver medal in that final yesterday. She goes into second place, 12.133. Just ahead of Klara Petekova on the tie-break system. Abby Martin of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Second best performer in qualification. She is going in search of her first World Cup honours. For a 15-year-old gymnast, she has got some very promising tumbling work. Made the floor final at the Junior World Championships in Turkey last year. Also made the vault in the all-around final. Nice applause from the French coaching team as Abby Martin walks past them. And will she be walking onto the podium? Based at the South Devon School of Gymnastics in Paignton on the southwest English coast. A gymnast who absolutely is going in the right direction and whose progress is deeply encouraging. She's been so strong in domestic all-around competitions. She's just recently finished in third place at the British National Championships. That after getting on the podium in the Welsh Open event at the National Championships there. Performed a clean sweep of the British, English and Welsh junior all-around national titles last year. 12.733 in qualification. That's also the leading mark at the moment, set by Colleen Deviat. Greta Moyer is in second place on 12.133, ahead on the execution tiebreak, 7.533 to 7.033, with Klara Petekova in third. And Martin has gone into second place, 12.533, and that means that Abby Martin has just won her first international honours as a senior competitor. To the last gymnast, and handsomely the top qualifier by over a mark, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France. It will be the Marseillaise that plays. Will it be for her or for Deviat? That's quite some way to conclude. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, as the current leader, Colleen Deviat, watches on and applauds her teammates. A strong likelihood of a second gold medal won this weekend in Osijek for the 23-year-old. Let's look back and enjoy. Good form in the air, super landing, clarity of tumbling work. Very nice body position again in the layout, the double layout. Totally correct angle of landing, coming out of the tuck position.
Slika ovdje sasvim jasna ko će biti na najvišem postolju.
Još jednom onaj element o kojem smo pričali, ona ga je sada izvela u odnosu na ostale natjecateljice, kako je ona to napravila?
U odnosu na ostale ona nije napravila dvostruki nego trostruki, međutim malo se podignuo ovaj zadnji dio. Sutini su to svakako vidjeli, ali to je mislim stvarno minorno s obzirom na cijelu vježbu.
Cijeli njen stručni stožer vrlo zadovoljan i ona svojim osmijehom.
13.833 was her score in the preliminary round. If she gets anywhere near that, it's going to be a second gold medal of the weekend. At the moment it's Devia, Martin and Maya. The last score set to come in. Still to come, we have the men's rings final, and we have a result here, and it is virtually the same as qualification, even a little better by a few hundreds, but by a wide margin. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos has taken the title. Colleen Deviat wins silver, and a special moment for Abby Martin of Great Britain, her first international honours. She runs in company with a two-time champion of Europe. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos wins it, and wins it well, over her teammate Colleen Deviat. Abby Martin of Great Britain wins the bronze medal in this women's floor final in Osijek.
Bilo je ovo finale ženskog tla, ženskog partera, pred nama je još finale muških karika, još jedno finale, još jedni vrhunski natjecatelji, vrhunski gimnastičari, kao i cijela svita njih koja je danas prodefilirala ovdje Osijekom, Osječkim gradskim vrtom, ovom divnom dvoranom.
Final adjustments being performed. Time for more ceremony and pageantry in Osijek.
Molim vas sada prije proglašenja još jednom veliki pljesak.
The traditional uniform of the Sokolska guard. And a pretty traditional sight, seeing Melanie de Jesus dos Santos winning a floor competition.
Medalje će uručiti gospođa Nihed Zeid, dopredsjednica Tehničkog odbora za žensku sportsku gimnastiku Svjetskog gimnastičkog saveza. The medals will be presented by Mrs. Nihed Zeid, Vice President of the FIG's Women's Artistic Gymnastics Technical Committee. Treće mjesto i brončana medalja, predstavnica Velike Britanije. In the third place, winning the bronze medal representing Great Britain, Abigail Martin.
The bronze medal goes to 15-year-old Abigail Martin of Great Britain. For the first time, she is on a senior international podium, and she may well be back time and time again if the start of her senior career is anything to go by.
In the second place, winning the silver medal, representing France, Colline Devillard.
Colline Devillard of France wins another medal to add to her vault title in Osijek, second place on floor.
Prvo mjesto i zlatna medalja, predstavnica Francuske. In the first place, winning the gold medal, representing France, Melanie de Jesus dos Santos.
The title is won by Melanie de Jesus dos Santos of France, the two-time champion of Europe on floor. It was a commanding and comfortable victory. Her second gold medal of the weekend.
Dame I gospodo, slijedi himna Francuske. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to, please stand for the national anthem of France.
The medalists in the women's floor competition in Osijek. The men's still rings final, the last order of business in this fantastic weekend of competition in Osijek. The top performer in qualification, Ilya Kovtun of Ukraine, has not entered this final. He's withdrawn, so that has really opened the field. Kevin Buckley, the first reserve, has come in.
The first finalist representing Kazakhstan, Roman Mamenov.
Roman Mamenov of Kazakhstan will get us underway, the sixth best in qualification. 12.8 his score.
The second finalist representing Spain, Pau Jimenez.
Will it be another medal for Pau Jimenez of Spain after his second place finish on vault? He was the third best qualifier for this rings final.
treći finalist, predstavnik Mađarske, the third finalist representing Hungary, Balázs Kiss.
Here is a gymnast definitely in contention to win this title. Balázs Kiss, the Hungarian national champion, joint national champion. He was only the 5th best in qualification, but he's got a good difficulty score.
The 4th finalist representing Bulgaria, Kevin Penev.
Bulgarian Kevin Penev, the 7th best in qualification with a score of 12.8. He's already won 2 bronze medals.
Peti finalist, predstavnik Turske, the 5th finalist representing Turkey, Yunus Gündoğdu.
Here is a gymnast who could be the surprise winner. He was the 8th best in qualification, Yunus Gündoğdu of Turkey, but he has the highest difficulty score of anyone.
Predstavnik Ukraine, the 6th finalist representing Ukraine, Ilya Kovtun.
Well, that's because of the surprise withdrawal of Ilya Kovtun that we've just had Kevin Buckley from Slovenia announced as Ilya Kovtun. He'd love Ilya Kovtun's trophy cabinet, that's for sure. But good luck to Buckley as he comes in as the first reserve with the withdrawal of the top qualifier.
I 8. je predstavnik Mađarske, the 8th finalist representing Hungary, Szilárd Závory.
The 2nd best performer in qualification, Szilárd Závory of Hungary, medalist on vault at the Junior World Championships last year.
Predstavnik Nizozemske, the 8th finalist representing the Netherlands, Jermaine Groenenberg.
And finally, Jermaine Groenenberg of the Netherlands, the 4th best performer in qualification with a score of 12.95. Well, this is going to be very, very interesting. It is safe to say that this is not a rings final full of out-and-out specialists. And that might be a euphemistic way of putting it. This is open. This is there to be won. In the first half of the final, we will see the 6th, 3rd, 5th and 7th best qualifiers. Pau Jimenez of Spain, the best in that first group. But just to remind you, we don't have the top qualifier due to Ilya Kovtun's withdrawal. That's why Kevin Buckley has come in.
Sprava koji se naziva zapravo spravom snage, jer gimnastičari moraju cijelo vrijeme držati svoju težinu na rukama, a držeći se za karike koje vise na ovim sajlama i samim time su dosta nestabilne i potrebna je puno veća snaga da bi se gimnastičar održao u ravnoteži u odnosu na recimo ruče koje su dosta stabilnije i ovdje gimnastičari također moraju pokazati dosta elemenata izdržaja, dakle izdržaja snage u raznim pozicijama i svaki od tih izdržaja moraju zadržati barem 3 sekunde kako bi to suci priznali i specifičnost karika je što gimnastičari u odnosu na ostale sprave tokom cijele vježbe drže, imaju dodir sa samom spravom, tek kod zaskoka se događa puštanje i tu se događaju najveće greške uglavnom na karikama i također zaskok onda igra još jednu ulogu.
Još 30 sekundi, 30 seconds left.
U konačnoj ocjeni, ali i u konačnom dojmu, jer ako je sastav ukopan, potpunost i ocjena će biti puno veća.
Biti stabilan u ova nestabilna vremena, to je nekako najteže, a to će nam evo dokazati i pokazati gimnastičari u finalu karika.
Zadnjih 10 sekundi, the last 10 seconds. I zagrijavanje je završeno. Molimo da počnete s natjecanjem. Warm-up is over. Please start the competition. Prvi nastupa predstavnik Kazahstana, the first finalist representing Kazakhstan, Roman Maminov.
Roman Maminov of Kazakhstan is the first gymnast to compete in this men's rings final. He's 19, from the northeast of Kazakhstan in a settlement called Pavlodar, one of the oldest cities in that part of the country. Dates back to the 9th century. He's actually probably best known as a parallel bars gymnast, but we're getting to see him here in this rings final, and good luck to him. The first time that he's made a World Cup final. There's a little adjustment to get that handstand secure. Jonassen to Yamawaki. That worked well. And he has an unfortunate tumble to the side on landing. Roman Maminov, very promising young athlete though, isn't he? A lot to like about his form, particularly the Jonassen Yamawaki combination. He's very highly regarded in his region. Not many elite athletes actually come from the Pavlodar area in the northeast of the country. He's the first gymnast in 30 years to be awarded with a classification or designation known as Master of Sports. So they are rightly very proud of him in Pavlodar.
Ali vidimo da je Roman jako mlad gimnastičar i vjerujem da je svjetla budućnost pred njim.
Smiriti te karike na neki način najteže.
Just wasn't fully around, hence the loss of position.
Daju najveću ocjenu.
Tako je, kad su karike u potpunosti mirne, ocjena je najveća što može biti. Evo ovdje vidimo 7-5, jedna ok ocjena, malo manja početna ocjena 4 ocjena.
Roman Maminov.
12.3 the score for Roman Maminov. Down by half a mark from qualifying.
Drugi finalist,
Pau Jimenez of Spain.
The second finalist representing Spain, Pau Jimenez.
He scored 13.05 in qualification, the third strongest. But in real terms, it's the second strongest because we've lost the top qualifier. Ilya Kovtun withdrawing. Along with winning the all-around bronze medal at the national championships, Jimenez was the vault national champion and won bronze on floor and on this apparatus. He attends the Universidad Internacional de La Rioja. working hard to hold his handstand and holding it nicely. Very similar construction to what we saw from Maminov. But he's looking tidy at the moment, the 20-year-old. Can he hold his landing? He can. Good performance from Pau Jimenez. That may well contend for a medal.
Pičo već ulaza u vježbu, odmah prvi, drugi element, vrlo zahtjevan, raširene ruke, držati karike stavljamo, o čemu smo pričali, iznimno teško.
Tako je, pokazuje jedan od najatraktivnijih, najpopularnijih elementa.
He's been an exciting discovery at full international level, Pau Jimenez.
Izgleda jako teško i vidimo da se čak u tom elementu Pau je malo zatresao. Naravno, taj element je malo manje težine nego neki elementi koji rade najbolji gimnastičari na karikama, ali kao što smo mogli vidjeti ranije danas, Pau je nastupao i na preskoku. On je gimnastičar koji radi sve sprave i zbog toga možda nije najatraktivnija, najveća ocjena ovdje na karikama, ali stvarno je pohvalno što radi vrlo mirnu, staloženu vježbu i na kraju sastup je izgledao jako dobro, tako da bit će jedna lijepa ocjena konkurentna u ovom finalu.
U samoj vježbi imali oni neke elemente kroz koje moraju proći?
Not too much of a landing adjustment from the Spaniard.
Pau Jimenez.
.95, a drop of a single tenth in execution from qualification. The only difference in his routine. Will it be sufficient? Bolashkis. 12.9 in qualification. This is the gymnast who was involved in that extraordinary three-way tie at the national championships last year with Christopher Mezaros and Benedikt Tomčani. They all shared the rings title. He is yet to find a place on a World Cup podium, Kiss. First time we've seen the Blanche position in this final. He goes the other way round to the first two, from Yamawaki to Jonasson. Hungary's Bolashkis, a difficulty score of 5.1 in qualification. The difficulty scores we've had so far, 4.8 from Maminov, 4.9 from Jimenez. So the Hungarian has a little bit of a cushion to work with. He's twice been fourth in an international still rings final, including last week in Antalya.
I adekvatno cijeniti, ali Balaš odradio dosta tešku vježbu, puno težu u odnosu na njegove prethodnike i odradio također jedan vrlo zahtjevan saskok, dupli pruženi salto sa okretom 360 u svojoj osi, tako da može očekivati jednu solidnu ocjenu.
Evo, taj doskok smo upravo vidjeli, ruke naravno visoko u zraku.
Just wonder about that movement on the landing. Might be a bit of a problem. 12.9, second place. Jimenez has held on. Kevin Penev of Bulgaria. 12.8 in qualification, 5.0 difficulty, so the middle ground between Jimenez and Kiss. Already a winner of 2 bronze medals in Osijek this weekend, floor and vault. Fourth to go in this rings final, Bulgaria's Kevin Penev. 12.95 is the leading mark so far. Penev scored 12.8 in qualification.
Now the second group of 4 finalists have 2 minutes one-touch warm-up. You may start warming up.
Mi ćemo se osvrnuti na Kevinov nastup, onda ćemo se dotaknuti onoga što se događa u poredku, odnosno ta mala razlika između
Quite a secure performance this from Penev. Similar sorts of skills from what we've seen so far. What about the clarity? As you can see from that position, quite a bit of bend in the midsection in his planche.
Što je jedan od težih saskoka u gimnastičkom pravilniku, tako da može biti stvarno jako zadovoljan sa svojim izgledom.
Sad vezano uz poredak, dakle vrlo mala razlika između Paua i Kiša na tom prvom i drugom mjestu.
Tako je, razlika je 50 stotinki, što je gotovo ništa, ali u gimnastici to je jako puno, jer evo, sada je trenutno Kevin Penev preuzima prvo mjesto.
13.25. Kevin Penev, easily the strongest execution we've had so far. He goes into the lead. That's an improvement of about half a mark from the preliminary round. Penev looking good value for another medal. But we have now got a real contender to come if he can stabilise his routine from qualification, because the difficulty for Yunus Gundoğdu is absolutely difficulty to win this.
I zagrijavanje je završeno. Molimo da nastavite s natjecanjem. Warm-up is over. Please continue the competition.
From Turkey, Yunus Gundoğdu.
Peti finalist.
He scored 12.75 in the preliminary round, but with a 5.8 difficulty score and a 6.95 for execution. He has won 3 World Cup medals, but never a gold. Stable looking planche, goes into Maltese. What a tight, tough position he established in the Yamawaki. Jonasson into the iron cross, very nice. Good handstand, this should be his. Oh, he has some flickering in that handstand, controls it well. and dismounts soundly too. It's a good performance from Yunus Kundoldu, the 26-year-old from the Aegean coast. He recently finished his degree in management at Ege University, the University of the Aegean. Competes at the World University Games in Chengdu last year as a result. Gosh, it would mean so much to him if he can win this title. He was the runner-up at the National Championships last year.
Što gimnastičari rijeđe rade, ali je saskok koji je nekako zahvalan, vrlo je donosi visoku ocjenu za težinu, iako je malo teži za doskočiti jer gimnastičar ne vidi gdje doskače nogama, ali ako se odradi kako treba može donijeti jako puno koristi.
Idealno bi bilo kada bi u određenim elementima bili u ravnini karika, svako to spuštanje ramena ruku suci dodatno kažnjavaju.
Upravo tako, važno je na koji način gimnastičar dođe u tu poziciju, u taj element koji treba zadržati i idealno bi ramena trebala biti u određenim slučajevima u visini karika, u elementima kao što su rastor ili lastavica, kako bi gimnastičar zapravo radio to najpravilnije moguće.
Yunus Kundoldu.
He's close but not quite. The execution 7.05. 12.85 his score. They all just added up those little execution issues. The lowest execution score that we've had in the final. Kevin Buckley of Slovenia in as the first reserve. The 19-year-old scored 12.6 in qualification. He competed in his first World Cup final yesterday on the pommel horse. Jonathan to the Yamawaki worked with security. Not a hugely high difficulty score we expect, but it's been well performed, this. Good gymnastics from Kevin Buckley of Slovenia. Unexpectedly coming into the final. The first reserve standing in for Ilya Kovtun.
Sve u svemu jedna jako lijepa vježba sa nekoliko srednjih grešaka, ali sve u svemu mislim da Kevin može biti jako zadovoljan.
Možda da objasnimo samo gledateljima ovo što je sad Ivan upravo rekao, došao je u finalno mjesto Ilije Kovtuna. Dakle, kad netko od finalista odustane, mjesto njega u finale ulazi prva rezerva, ako ne može on, onda druga, treća i tako dalje. A u slučaju partera, ženskog partera, kad nijedna rezerva više nije bila ovdje ili nije bila spremna za nastup, onda smo imali 7 natjecateljica u finalu.
Jedan Kevin trenutno na vrhu, dakle Kevin Penev, drugi Kevin još čeka svoju ocjenu koja je upravo stigla i evo ih, da Kevin na vrhu, Kevin George Buckley.
For Kevin Buckley, the score is 13. Well done to him. 8.7 execution. The first reserve has managed to slot into the silver medal position with 2 to go. Wouldn't that be a story? He's 4/10 better than qualifying. all of that down to execution. It was judged to be the best performed routine of the lot.
Sedmi finalist, predstavnik je Mađarske. The seventh finalist, representing Hungary,
Szilard Zavary of Hungary, the second best performer in qualification with a score of 13.05. If he gets that here, then he'll slot into second place ahead of Buckley and behind Penev. Silver medalist on rings at the Masters Championships in Hungary at the end of last year. And still a new senior. First straddle planche we've seen. Oh, it's such a bold dismount, and he didn't quite get it. Really is packing in the rotations in the tuck position. Man from Budapest, Szilard Zavary, and that will leave Kevin Buckley feeling pretty confident that he's got a place on the podium.
Više manje čista vježba i atraktivan sastup, nažalost taj pad će malo utjecati na konačnu ocjenu.
Dotaknemo se još nastupa Kevina Georgea Buckleya. Dakle, njegova početna ocjena je bila relativno niska, ali je zato izvedba bila iznimno visoka.
Upravo tako, u odnosu recimo na turskog gimnastičara.
Have a look once more at this dismount.
Visoku početnu ocjenu, skoro za bod više. Kevin imao nešto nižu početnu ocjenu.
Nearly but not quite for Szilard Zavary.
A sada pljeskom pozdravite Szilarda Zavorija.
.2. So he was quite possibly on course to get onto the podium until that dismount. That's a shame. To the last performer of this weekend. Jermaine Grunberg of the Netherlands, the fourth best in qualification with a score of 12.95. And if he can do that, then he will probably win the execution tiebreak with Pau Jimenez and take the bronze. Oh, that's a very good hold, actually. That's a very good hold from Grunberg. And actually to get stability in the dismount after that's very impressive. Good work. A lot of composure and core strength needed there from Grunberg. He won the silver medal at the Dutch Championships on ring last year. He's been in pretty good spirits of late. He's an enormous fan of Willem II, the Dutch football team, and they are currently top of the Dutch second division. He's anticipating his favourite club having a return to the top flight.
Jermaine, dakle, posljednji natjecatelj danas, nas čeka još ceremonija proglašenja, tako da polako, ali sigurno ćemo još neko vrijeme ostati ovdje. Što se tiče Jermaina, njegov nastup smo vidjeli, još možemo samo malo prokomentirati ovu listu natjecatelja, odnosno trenutni poredak, gdje su jako male razlike zapravo između određene pozicije na tablici.
Tako je, mislim da su 4 gimnastičara smještena u 1,5 desetinku, što je jako malo, ali pogotovo na karikama to je često slučaj.
Good conclusion, especially when considering the issues in the handstand, because it would have been so easy to understand if he didn't have the physical strength in that moment to hold the end of the routine. 12.45, sixth position for him, and that means that we can confirm those three gentlemen on the podium. What a result for Kevin Buckley as the first reserve. He's won a silver medal, his first ever international honours. Brilliant accomplishment. And Kevin Penev is for the first time a World Cup champion. The classified results in the men's still rings competition. The bronze medal for Pau Jimenez of Spain, his second medal of the weekend. Kevin Buckley of Slovenia, who came in as the first reserve, wins the silver medal with a brilliant display, execution triumphing over difficulty, and Kevin Penev of Bulgaria is the champion for the first time ever at World Cup level. The victory ceremony for the men's still rings competition.
Svečanost proglašenja pobjednika u disciplini karike. Award ceremony for rings. Medalje će uručiti gospodin Neven Šavora, direktor Ureda za nacionalne sportske saveze Hrvatskog olimpijskog odbora. The medals will be presented by Mr. Neven Šavora, director of the National Sports Association's office at the Croatian Olympic Committee. Treće mjesto i brončana medalja, predstavnik Španjolske. In the third place, winning the bronze medal representing Spain, Pau Jimenez.
The winner of the bronze medal, Pau Jimenez of Spain. Matching what he did at the National Championships last year and making it 2 medals at this Osijek World Challenge Cup. This young man has established himself as one to watch.
In the second place, winning the silver medal representing Slovenia, Kevin George Buckley.
What a triumph this is. As the old saying goes, there's more than one way to build a score, and Kevin Buckley did it with execution. 8.7, easily the best of the entire final. Despite having the lowest difficulty, he has made it onto the podium, and all of that as reserve number 1. The Bulgarian Kevin Penev is the champion. Three medals won in Osijek, the first 2 bronze, and now he has a gold. For the first time ever, he will hear his national anthem played in his honor.
National anthem of Bulgaria.
The playing of Mila Rodino, Dear Motherland, the national anthem of Bulgaria. It was written by Svetisan Radoslavov in 1885. The medalists in the men's still rings competition in Osijek.
Još jednom pljesak za naše gimnastičare, Aurel Berović, Tina Zelčić, Tin Srbić. Pljesak naravno i za sve gimnastičare koji su prodefilirali ovom dvoranom Gradski vrt u Osijeku.
And all of that brings to a close our coverage from Osijek. It's been a great pleasure having your company and hope to see you for more artistic gymnastics action soon. Next stop, the Doha World Cup.